Hey guys, how's it going? Heidi back again over here in Southern Ohio, taking an opportunity to work on my van. I got a couple extra days off work that I didn't plan on, so the temperatures here in Ohio have gone from the high 90s down to the 70s, so it's not totally miserable and I can actually get some work done. Hang on a minute. Here's a really nice panel I purchased a while back. So this is Luan. It's layered. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 layers of wood, and then it's got the Luan laminate on each side. I wrote down my measurements here on this little piece of wood. So this opening for this door, 26.5 inches tall, 14.18 inches wide. Like I've said before, this is the first cabinet I've ever made in my entire life. I threw it together with scrap pieces of wood because I was like, I had not spent any more money. I'm done. I'm done with all the big purchase items until I get to the electric and the solar. I want it to open from the left or the right. I feel like there's more room in here if it opens out like this, because there's more floor space here, so I think I like it opening this way rather than this way. If it's opening this way, then it's all hanging up over here in this congested area. We've got a door here. So yeah, it should open like this. Alright. This will get mounted here. You mount this part onto the door. Then you bring the door over here and set it up here. And then you just put 2 screws in. One here. One down here. One on the top, one on the bottom. These hinges, I think, match these old-fashioned handles pretty well. And I got a lot of black in here. I got a lot of black accents here, here, here. So now I got to figure out how much do I want this door to overlap. Well, it should probably be in line with these drawers. But if I do that, it's not going to overlap very much. Maybe it'll have less overlap at the top and bottom, so it's in line with the drawers, and then more overlap on the sides. That way I can put a little latch here. Let me go out here and figure out the size of this door and cut it out. Then I'm going to sand it really nicely, and then I'm going to paint it green. And once it's done, I will show you guys how it turned out. Hey, sweetie. What are you doing? What do you want? You just ate. What was that? Huh? Did you say something? Oh my goodness. Usually when I'm trying to do something and I want it to look really nice, I don't have a table saw. So I'll just make a guide with clamps on the workbench so that when I go to cut with the circular saw, I get a nice straight line. But actually, I've gotten to this habit of just drawing the line and cutting it because I can usually stay on the line pretty well. So this one, I free cut it off of just a line that I drew. And if you notice, the edges are pretty straight. Then I did a rough sanding with the sander, which isn't, my sander's not working properly. I think I burnt out another one. I'm always using that thing. That's the second one I've been through. Well, it's the third one, actually, that I've been through in 10 years. Yeah, it's nice and straight. I rounded the corners a little bit, which is what I like to do because I don't like sharp corners stabbing me when I'm in the kitchen and I'm goofing around and not paying attention. But yeah, and then after I used the sander, which was pretty rough. I think that sander has like 90 grit. So then I went over it with 180 grit by hand. And then now I'm just cleaning all the sawdust off. And that's ready to paint. Just going to paint both sides green. I'll probably do 3 coats. Make it nice and smooth. I should have this done this evening. I painted it 3 times. I think it's dry. I think it's ready to install. Doesn't it look nice? That's a semi-gloss. So now all I have to do is the hinges. Yeah, these are really easy to install. So this is going to be the face of the door. The hinges will go on like this. This plate goes under on the back side of the door like that. One hinge here, one hinge here. Screw those into the door. Then this part gets screwed onto the cabinet. Basic, simple, easy to use hinges. They're the exact depth I needed for this 1/2-inch plywood that I purchased. You can go over to Lowe's. They have these 4-foot by 4-foot pieces of plywood you can get that are finished grade for crafting projects. You can pick whatever depth you want, whether you get 1/2 inch, 3/8 inch, or 3/4 inch. Like I said, semi-gloss interior paint. This color is called Brassy. It's got like a moss green, which I love. Yeah, so basically the way I do it is I'll put one coat of paint on, let it dry on both sides of the door. Then you come back in with a really light grade sandpaper. I think this is 180. 180. Yeah, and then I just, with my hand, going with the grain of the wood, I lightly sanded it. When you paint it, the moisture in the paint will kind of pull up the grains, so just kind of sand it lightly, knock it down, make it nice and smooth. And then after the first coat of paint, it's pretty good after that. Then I put 2 more coats on, nice and smooth. And I just go nice and long with the brush strokes, nice and long and even. And then you can end up with this pretty, you can see the lines of the brush. I like that. I think it's pretty. I don't like using rollers. I like using a paintbrush. Alrighty, here we go. Getting ready to install this door. I never made a door for a kitchen cabinet before. I will point out, these drawers, these are 3/4 inch thick. This is only 1/2 inch thick. Why did I do that? Well, the rest of this cabinet I built out of scrap pieces of wood that were laying in a pile. I didn't want to buy more lumber. I had a bunch of short pieces between 2 and 3 feet long left over from my projects. So I thought I might as well use those in here. So I used them to construct this cabinet. Then at the end, I'm like, and then I want to make a door. It's easy to make drawers out of just chunky pieces of pine you have laying around. I mean, I think they turned out pretty nice, even though it was just cheap pine. Some of it's actual cedar too. Some of it's cedar. You know, I didn't need this to be fancy. I just needed it to be hardy and work well. But for the door, when you go to make a door on a cabinet, a problem that you can come across, depending on the wood you choose or the way you make it, is the door, because it's a pretty large piece of wood in comparison to these little pieces on the drawers. These are very small compared to this. What'll happen is, depending on what you use, the wood might warp. A lot of people will make like shaker cabinets. I really like the idea of just having a solid panel like this. I'm confident this will remain straight over time. And if it doesn't, if it turns into a potato chip at some point, I can just take it off and make a new door. I don't think that's going to happen though. So anyway, what I'm doing here, I'm just using a couple items to get this door at the right height I want. And then I've made a couple of measurements to decide exactly where I want it. And then it's just a matter of putting 4 screws in. So hang on a minute while I do that. Moment of truth. Does it work? Excuse me. Let's see here. Aww. I think that looks nice. So these hinges have magnets on them. These little, that part that's kind of brown looking is a magnet. So basically when you shut the door, that magnet grabs onto the edge of the mounting bracket. So let's see how straight it is. I know it doesn't quite match these. I think I have some wood pieces similar to these that are a little bit more narrow. I think I'm going to put on the edge here. So let's see how we like this. Well, I think it's nice because when I open it, there's a lot of clearance here. And it can open all the way over toward the drawers. Let's see here. See if I got it pretty straight. Let's see if my measurements were correct. So I feel like it's a little bit sprung. So there's a slight gap here. It's not closing completely. Probably because maybe I tightened the screws a bit much and it bent these brackets a tiny bit, sucking it closer in on this side than this side. But is that the worst thing in the world? I don't think so, because I'm going to get a latch so that when you shut it, it latches. I'm thinking this might move stuff over. Let's see though if it's. I feel like it looks like it's centered pretty well. Looks like it's a good height. I like it. I think it looks good. So let me open it a couple times. Oh, it's squeaky. Oh. What's that? Squeaky door? This is very old-fashioned. All right, hang on. I don't know where the squeak is coming from. Well, anyway, there it is. I don't have a latch. I haven't bought one yet. But I will get one. Yeah, that's not quite flush like I thought it would be. Meh. Whatever. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead, I think, and mount a handle on here. Another thing that's good about the door swinging this way, when I'm driving, even though I am going to have a latch, if it was a door that opened this way, and you're driving and you hit the brakes, these doors tend to swing open. But since this one's already hanging this direction, if the latch comes loose, it won't put any stress on the hinges because the door can't, the gravity won't pull it open backward. But yeah, I think this is really good. I mean, for the first try, I think it turned out great. I think it looks nice and even. I just need to get a latch and install a handle and maybe put a little piece of wood trim to kind of match it up with these drawers. Hell yeah. Love it. I love it. I really love it. All right. Well, I think I'm done working on projects. I'm tired. It's hot outside. My dog is fed up with it. She's like,